History is filled with figures who defied norms, reshaped their roles, and carved out hidden paths to power. Today, we'll uncover the fascinating, untold stories of women who changed the course of history behind the palace walls of ancient China. Greatness and power in the enormous courts of ancient China were quite a constraint, especially for women. It was here, outside of the great courts of the emperors and queens, that such an extraordinary group would begin to emerge. Women attendants and other court figures like Ban Zhao, who took upon traditionally male-dominated spaces for uncommon influence. Take, for instance, Ban Zhao, the scholar, historian, and advisor during the Han Dynasty. Though women's voices were largely silenced in her time, Ban Zhao became one of the most respected intellectuals of her era. Her work, including the monumental Lessons for Women, not only shaped Confucian ideology, but also served as a guide for women's conduct and education for centuries. These attendants of the court during the Ming Dynasty played a wide-ranging function in many ways beyond mere service. They were, in fact, strategic advisors, cultural ambassadors, and even custodians of state secrets. Usually bereft of free choice, they found their inroad to making decisions that shaped the course of an empire. Think about how it would feel to have every action weighed and to live or die by one's skill at navigating political minefields. Often, these women were caught in a delicate balance: too successful, and they faced envy and retribution; too quiet, and they were invisible, devoid of influence. All of these intellectual attainments did come with a price for Ban Zhao, and she had to weigh every step so as not to come across as defying the authority of males, but merely a complementary force. This tightrope act would very much possibly get her exiled, if not worse, in case one step goes wrong. An even grimmer reality for the females was to be the attendants of the court in the Ming Dynasty. Most of them were sent into the palace as young girls, cut off from their families, and put into training to serve with rigid rules. Their identities get erased, and their futures are determined by the ability to foresee the whims of the emperor and the court. Their sacrifices were not in vain, however. Through hard work and resourcefulness, they left indelible marks in history, even as their names faded away with time. But here is the surprising turn in the story. Despite all that oppression that they had to live through, they wielded tremendous power in backrooms. Ban Zhao was an advisor to the empresses, one who assisted in molding court policy, who wrote with such influence her works formed part of state curriculum, thus shaping generations of scholars. Women in the Ming Dynasty often served as court attendants, engaging in diplomatic functions, arts, and sometimes even espionage. They maintained the flow of communication within the palace, often serving as an intermediary among factions, and sometimes even secret agents who maintained the stability of the empire. These are not women who passively existed. Rather, they are women who, though invisible to historical limelight, have built their worlds of power. Their stories remind one that influence is not always a case of being at center stage. More often, actual strength lies in persistence, strategy, and the bravery to cut a path when none does exist. Their lives also remind us of the importance of remembering those who have been left out of history. How many Ban Zhaos, how many unnamed court attendants have we forgotten? What does that say about the way we write history? Here's a question. Who do you think are today's hidden figures, working behind the scenes, shaping our future? Let us bring their stories into light to honor their contribution. If you found this story inspiring, please give this video a like, share with all those who love untold history, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the past. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.